Okay. So, guys, here's a question that was asked specifically to be channeled on, to be open up and ask about. So, I wanted to go ahead and read this question and um, and open up and ask and see what happens. Hey, John, can you channel and find out if DNA was tampered with long ago, like a lot of scientists and others say? If so, why? Just for our evolution? I know that no being could infringe on free will, or they're not supposed to. If you could help, that would be awesome. Thanks. So the question is, was our DNA tampered with long ago? Yes, no, and everything in between. All possibility is possible. All concepts are in reality true. All thoughts are creative. All thoughts. There are those who believe this DNA structure even exists. The concept of this DNA structure existing is an interesting concept in the fact that when they look at the DNA, they can see it, they can experience it, they understand the sequences of it, they have the thoughts wrapped around it. But then when they look further back and they look at it more, they realize that it's made of pure energy, as is the microscope they're looking through. It's made of pure energy. It's made of the same stuff as your arm or your eye or your hand. It is made of the same stuff. It is a pure energy thought. The concept of looking for the building blocks of humanity gives you a path, and you will see building blocks because that's what you've asked to see. The reality of it is it's far more simple. It's far more streamlined. It's far more relaxed. The idea of was DNA tampered with long ago. If you believe that it was tampered with long ago, then you will see the evidence of it being tampered with long ago. But what is it? What was tampered with? The DNA. The DNA was a thought construct of man. The DNA is the path that they are being shown because they are choosing to believe that path. The DNA is literally a construct within itself. The idea of the idea of the DNA being important is a mistruth, is a non-reality, because the idea of the DNA itself is a non-reality. The idea of the DNA being a building block of a human is unimportant in the reality of who you are. The experience of life is not physical; it's spiritual, and you come to the physical world to experience and to explore. And when you choose to explore into the mind of the physical and to understand the physical, you realize that the physical will show you physical answers and show you physical responses. But until you realize, you have to look at yourself and your physical world as nothing but pure energy, because pure energy is all that it is. It's all that it is, and DNA is a construct of the mind of man trying to make sense of the experience they're having. And the experience they're having is based upon the idea of there has to be a belief, there has to be a reason, there has to be an evolution, there has to be a pathway, there has to be a reason, there has to be some way that this happened, there has to be some natural course in the physical world as to why we exist, why we're here. It's a desperate search for purpose. It's a desperate thirst for reason. It's a desperate search for the concept of who and what you are and why you're there. And the ideas are far more complex than is the reality. The reality is far more simple. It is not even in the physical. It's not even in the visual experience. It's in the feeling experience. It's not in the DNA. The DNA is found when you search for building blocks. You see building blocks. When you search for a path will be laid before you. But until you turn that path back to yourself and your innermost feelings, you won't find the reality of who and what you are and why you are there. The concepts of, was there tampering with the DNA? Of course there was. Of course there was, because you believe there was. Those who don't believe it, it wasn't there. It's not an end all be all. It's not a absolute one thing or the other. It's each person has their own reality, and in that reality, they experience this belief of this DNA being tampered with. They experience this belief, and then they build upon that belief, and then people begin to speak about that belief, and then people get on stages and share their beliefs about this. And the reality of it is it's all just constructs of man. It's all the path that you have created in front of you, and that path will have you wander in the wilderness until you come back to yourself, until you come back to the feeling within. It does not matter what anyone believes about the DNA. It does not matter what anybody believes about the tampering with it. It does not matter. It only matters that you find yourself back, and you find yourself again, and you find yourself in your feelings and in who you are. The DNA being tampered with, of course it was. And no, it wasn't at the same time. It was all realities are possible. All realities are true. But that's only because all realities are constructs of the mind trying to make sense about the physical experience, where in reality you shouldn't be making sense of the dream. You shouldn't be making sense of an idea that is being shown to you in video form. You should not be trying to make sense of it, because the reality of it is the visual elements that you're seeing, the experience of life, the experience of the DNA itself is non-reality. It is the complexity added to. It is the knowledge that you have decided to swim in that is a non-reality to the reality of God. God is love, and love is not a physical thing. Love is a feeling. Love is an expression. Love is a vibration, and the vibration itself is energetic, and energetics are what make up the entire spiritual experience. You are part of the energy of God. Imagine the word light. People say you are of the light. We are of the light, and this too is a metaphysical construct of the idea of light and dark and good and bad and evil and good, and the reality of it is it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's a vibration. Does it feel loving to you? Does it feel loving to you? Does it feel loving to them? Are you loving to them? Are they loving to you? Are your words loving? Is your experience loving? Is your experience fearful? Is their experience fearful? Are they giving you things to be fearful for? Why are they giving you things to be fearful for? Because the energy you're putting out is drawing fearful things. So why? Why? Because the energy, the feeling is creative. The feeling is the truth that you seek. The idea of the DNA and tampering is just looking for purpose, looking for reason, looking for value, looking for knowledge that is unnecessary. And that was all that came through. It stopped. It usually ends better than that, but in my opinion, my physical world opinion. But that's what came through. And I hope that makes sense for somebody. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.